I have a very, very bad day. I have to be honest with you, as always. I was in the gym today, and maybe you know this, nothing works. Nothing really works. You wake up in the morning and you feel like shit. Wake up and everything feels heavy. Everything feels different than usual. Every movement takes more effort and everything is like not smooth as always. Especially on those days when you have a bad day, you might feel like I don't want to do anything really, And as always, you know how my day looks like. I'm always going to the gym around like 10:30, something like this. And I was thinking like, let's just skip it. Let's just skip the gym, man. Come on. Let's chill. You have a bad day. It's fine, man. It's fine. And believe me, on those days, your brain will do everything it can to literally sabotage you into just being fucking lazy. Just being fucking lazy. And I also want to connect this to you because some of you, first of all, texted me this week. Karim, I lost so much money. I don't want to do anything this week. I'm just not motivated. I'm just not motivated. Those messages I get. And today was a day where I felt the same. I felt the same. I wasn't motivated, and I can promise you one thing. I promise you one thing. I was thinking about this. Of course, I went to the gym. Of course, I went to the fucking gym, even though I didn't feel like it. I was on the fucking treadmill, and my brain was like, go home, just stop. Just go home, man. Just stop. And you know what? I was thinking about this. It's you versus you every single day. You versus you every day. You wake up in the morning, it's you versus you on good days and on bad days. And of course, I could just say, bad day, let me just do nothing. But no. If you remember, we talked about this a while back. I said the person you are really shows on those bad days. Because I promise you one thing, that was the thing that I was thinking when I was on the treadmill. I was looking around the gym and I was thinking like, those fuckers in the gym, those fuckers, I promise you, everyone in the poker industry, if things go well, if you have a good day, if you have like an upswing in poker, if you make money, if everything is smooth, if your wife is telling you, oh, honey, I love you so much, if your kids, daddy, I have just, the best grade, if your life is nice, of course you can do everything. Everything is smooth. You wake up in the morning, you fly like an angel. You fly around the apartment. Everything is smooth. But I promise you one thing. On those days where things get hard, that's when your real personality shows up. When your real personality comes to the surface. Of course, everyone can say like, oh, everything is fine. I don't need a mindset coach. My life is good. But once things get really tough, that's when your real self, when your real personality shows up. And I was on this treadmill and I'm like, okay, I know this. And I was just thinking about this. I'm like, all right, so let me turn this around. Let me just push myself. And what I did was, I started a little bit slower than usual. But first of all, I didn't put hell in my brain because that's also something that you guys do. Everything is bad and like just one thing is going bad and all of a sudden everything is bad, right? It's just this black and white thinking. This is just destroying you. This is just like, I lost a little bit of money and now everything is bad. My whole life is shit. Everything is bad. All of a sudden everything is bad. But I was just thinking like, all right, at least I made it to this gym. At least I made it because I have high standards and high goals. High goals. I want to be in the best shape of my life this summer. And if I start giving myself excuses of like, oh, like today is a bad day, I'm not doing anything. Of course, the next thing you know is this summer, I'm like, maybe next summer and maybe next summer. And maybe this is you that sounds familiar now. Or maybe at least you have a friend who just says, this year, this is my year. This is the best year of my life. And then next thing he knows, like, this year wasn't my year. Maybe next year, that's when it counts. In January, people always say, new year, new me. And this year will be the best year. And then they fuck up because they have like low motivation or things don't go really well. Yeah. And then like, next year, this year was shit, but next year, this is the reality. Bullshit. Stop telling yourself bullshit, man. And then I was thinking like it's you versus you. And I pushed myself. I really pushed myself. And it felt so hard today. It felt so goddamn hard. I tell you this. But I was so proud of myself because, of course, I started slow. But once I was in the mental space, once I accepted I have a bad day and my real personality shows on those days, I was pushing myself so goddamn hard. So hard just to prove it to myself how much I can push myself, how much control I have of myself. because it's just a mindset. And I want to be in control. And I pushed myself way harder than some of the guys who didn't have a bad day in this gym. Really, if you see me, I pushed myself so hard, I was shaking. My whole body was shaking. And then was looking around, and then like, you see other guys who have a normal day, and they're like, phone, like this. And I promise you, you will not build any muscles. You will not build any mental power if you just do this in the gym. Like this. So stop complaining when you have a goddamn bad week or day or bad session, because the thing is, what I'm caring about is to push you and to see, really to see how far you can make it. We all here to improve. We all here to get better. This is really what I want to tell you right here. I'm coaching for over 12 years now. Don't you think I heard every excuse in the book? Everything you tell me. You lost 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K. I heard it. I heard it. Everything I heard. But what really matters is if you can sit down afterwards and say, I'm starting the module, I'm watching live call recordings, I'm asking Karim productive questions, not just like, so I don't feel like studying now. I didn't do the module. I didn't do anything really. It's just like I feel bad. I feel bad. You know how often I feel bad? How often I don't feel like doing anything? So push yourself, because the thing is also, maybe I have this background as a dating coach, and I promise you, once you get out on the street and you start approaching girls, or you're approaching girls in a nightclub, they will destroy your ego so hard, so hard. Literally, I had nights when I went home and I was just crying because it was so unfair and so hard. And I felt like quitting every single night sometimes when I was shy, when I was starting to talk to girls, and they're like, you don't have muscles, you're shy, you're ugly, you're weird. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. I heard this. And I heard this every single day. Every single week I heard stuff like that. I was crying. But you know what I said to myself? I will master this stuff. And I will take control. And I was pushing and pushing and pushing. That's basically what I did. And the next thing I know, I was coaching people on seminars and being on stage, because I never gave up. But I also know that people who started way earlier than me, or maybe at the same time, who could also have the potential to be super rich, super successful, those guys, they're like, "Ah, it's unfair. Those girls are so mean to me. They're so mean. I don't feel like doing it. They're so mean. Oh, I have a bad day. I have a bad week. Everything is shit." Same spot as they are few years ago. Nothing changed. Absolutely nothing. So the key takeaway is, stop complaining and push yourself on those bad days. It's just your mindset. Because you could also say, okay, on a bad day, I can prove it to myself how strong my mindset is. Because 99% of people, as soon as things go bad, they're just like, okay, I'm just sitting at home and I'm just watching porn, or I'm just watching YouTube, or I'm just watching any movie that I've seen 3 times already. This is basically how 99% of people are doing it, you know? So if you want to be in the top 1%, first step is you take a bad day and you say, thank God I have a bad day. Because the last time I had a bad day is a while ago. It was a while ago last time I had a bad day. But I was happy. I'm like, okay, everything felt a little bit harder today, but goddamn, I promise you, I was pushing myself so hard in the gym today. Holy moly. Holy moly. I turned it from one of the worst workouts to some of my best workouts, probably. Key takeaway for you, because if you still don't understand what I want to say, if you still think, so how is this relevant for me? How is that related to me? You talk about the gym, you talk about dating. I don't care about this, Karim. How is this relevant to me? How is it? It's about me. How is it relevant to you? Let me tell you, if you didn't get it. First of all, if you have a bad session or a bad day, yes, you can complain. But what really matters is that you push yourself, that you say, okay, all right, I lost money, I had a bad session, I'm sitting down, I'm starting the module, I'm doing ABC, I'm watching live call recordings, I'm trying to turn this around. Get out of this negativity of feeling like a victim, this victim mentality. Is nothing worse than that. Some of you here in this call, I feel sometimes you want to be this victim. You feel like, yes, finally something bad happens. Finally, I can be this victim again. No, I mean, it's crazy what I hear every single week. I know that some of you tell me your biggest secret, and I appreciate that. Of course, I will never tell anything here in this call. But some of you tell me you spend time with people you hate people you don't enjoy spending time with. Some of you say like, I study when I feel like it and stuff like this. Stop this.
Lately, I was struggling. When I have a good session, it's really nice to make meditation. But when I had the bad session, then it's difficult for me to sit down to meditate and to make this exact part of the post-session routine. It's like much easier to make the post-session meditation when the session went well than bad session.
There's a podcast episode with Ben and Patrick Leonard. I'm not sure if you saw this or anyone here saw this. And Patrick Leonard said when he has a good session, he reviews 5 hands or 10 hands, something like this. And when he had a bad session, he reviews double the amount of hands. What I would say is this is just pure mindset, Mateusz. Pure mindset. Because it's just like, oh, now things go bad, I don't want to do it. But as I said in the intro, everyone can do this. If things go bad, I could easily, if you heard the thoughts that I had today before the gym, I don't think many people would have gone to the gym with those negative thoughts in my mind. What I'm saying is exactly on those days, these are the days where you need it the most, probably. It's just competition. It's you versus you. And you want to basically tell yourself, okay, I had a bad session, so now I'm doing it even more. Because what's the alternative? On a bad session, then you don't do the meditation, you go to bed and you feel even worse. I don't think that's a good alternative. So I think you will need the post session even more on a bad day and a bad session. So it's just about discipline and pushing yourself.